weekends. So, anyways, that's on me. I'm sorry for telling you guys another lie. Hopefully you can forgive me for that. But I'm so excited to be making a video again. It's been a really long time. Definitely over a month. I don't know if it's been over 2 months quite. Maybe it has. But it's good to be back nevertheless. Hope you've been really well. I've been checking in on you, even if I haven't been posting videos. I've been checking in on the YouTube Studio app. Some of you have asked for updates, and I've just been concerned with my well-being and where I've been and what's been happening, so that's really cool of you. Also, forgive me in advance for any little background noises you might hear. I'm clearly in a new environment, and it's actually an older building that just got recently renovated, but there are still some noises to account for, and I'll tell you all about it. I'm really excited to tell you guys what I've been doing and what's been new with me, because a lot has happened. But once again, just thank you to everybody who was concerned for my well-being. It was nice to see people checking in on me and stuff while I was gone for a while. So, I have a lot of things I could tell you. I'm just gonna see where my brain takes us. I'm not going to really put a plan forth. I'm just going to wing it. Obviously, I'm in a new apartment. We'll talk about that first. So, because I moved from the state of Utah to the state of Virginia, which is approximately 30 hours away, I'm now living in a new environment. I got a new studio apartment that I am so stoked about. I don't know why, but I've always been fascinated with the studio apartment living spaces. I see them in movies and in TV shows, and it just reminds me of kind of like that big city living kind of thing. So, I don't know. When I was apartment hunting out here in Virginia before I made the move, I saw that there was a listing for a studio apartment. So I went and checked it out, and it just wasn't very well kept. It was a little older. All the appliances were well used. And it was kind of a bummer because I was like, well, it would be a really cool place, other than I think it's kind of falling to pieces. And the guy who was showing me the apartment actually said, well, before you go, we have another studio apartment. We haven't finished it yet, though. If you want to come take a look at that, then we can go downstairs and check it out, too. And I was like, sure, let's go check it out. I'm already here. Why not? So we walk down, take an elevator, and we walk down a long hallway. The guy opens the door, and behind me is what I saw when he opened the door. It was really nice. They just barely renovated it. I'm actually the first tenant to have lived here since they finished putting in all the new appliances. They finished painting it, putting in new flooring. So it's also isolated. There's like a little private entrance. I'm secluded a little bit more than the other units were. And so I instantly knew that this was the apartment for me. And so I was really grateful that I followed him down and accepted his offer to show me the unfinished apartment in the basement, because that's where I ended up living. That's where I am now. So I like studio apartments because I love the idea of open concept living. Everything is exposed, so you are incentivized to keep things clean. You are incentivized to be a little bit more of a minimalist. And I thought that was cool. So there were a lot of things that I decided I just didn't need, and I threw them away. And it also has been really cool because if I don't make my bed in the morning or something like that, then if there are any guests that come over, if there's anybody here, or even just me coming home after a long day at school, if I see that, I don't know, it just bothers me. I don't even know why. So I've been really good at making my bed, really good at cleaning up after myself, and it's kind of just been a really cool way to force myself to be a little bit more organized. And I don't know, I just think it's a really cool living situation. I'm actually in a historic part of town where I'm living in Virginia. There is a lot of U.S. history. One of the buildings that I'm in is actually like some old factory that got turned into an apartment complex. So, yeah, as you can see, it looks a little bit more industrial in here. And they really tried to keep some of that old school, the authenticity of the building and the structure. You can't see it, but to my left, there are original bricks that have been laid into the wall. And behind you, there's a really cool frosted glass window that lets in just enough light, but you can't really see through it. It's not entirely transparent. And it's just awesome because I feel like this place has a lot of personality, and it's just really cool. I really liked my last place. It was a beautiful apartment, very new. But there's just a lot of character here, and I really do love the open concept design. So anyways, that's all the updates with the living arrangements. Maybe I'll have to show you around the apartment a little bit so you know exactly what it looks like. It looks a little bit smaller on camera than it does in person. There's probably just as much square footage here as there was in my last apartment, so yeah, it's been more than enough space for me. So anyways, yeah, I'm living in Virginia now. I moved all the way over from Utah. We actually drove. A lot of people will just fly out here and then buy all new stuff. And I don't know, I think the way that the flights work out here and just the way that would all the arrangements it would take to get my things out, it just made it worth it in my mind to drive. And so obviously I've never driven across the country before, so it's all new to me, and I probably bit off a little bit more than I could chew. As the trip started, I realized a few hours in that it was going to be a very long time in the car. And a lot of the drive from Utah to Virginia, there is just nothing to look at, like absolutely nothing. It's just fields, and fields are cool, don't get me wrong, but for the sake of driving, it's always nice to have something to look at outside your windows. So I drove from Utah to Colorado, which is just such a beautiful state, by the way. Colorado is Utah, but on steroids. That's how I'd explain it. We passed through Colorado, entered Kansas. I love Kansas, okay, don't get me wrong, but that was such a boring drive. Such a boring drive. There's probably a lot of cool things there that I just didn't see, but I just stayed on the main road and drove through. So, no disrespect on anybody from Kansas watching this, but that drive is not very fun through your state. So we made it through Kansas, and then we ended up in Missouri. We drove through Kansas City, which was a little crazy. At the time that I got there, it was like 3 a.m. And so we'd stopped to get gas, and there were quite a few instances where I was a little bit worried where we were stopping. But it was fine ultimately. We got everything we needed. I really wish we could have stopped and got some barbecue, because I've heard it's just fantastic there. But we just didn't have enough time, and it was 3 in the morning, so there weren't very many barbecue places open. At this point, I'd been in the car about 15, 16 hours, just driving. We ended up stopping for the night. I'm trying to remember exactly where we stopped. I think it was in Missouri, somewhere. But yeah, we ended up taking a detour through Kentucky and into Tennessee because I really wanted to go to Nashville. I've never been. I love country music. I thought it would be a lot of fun to kind of get at least one trip, vacation destination on our drive. So we stopped in Nashville and it did not disappoint. It was so awesome. We stayed in Nashville and the next morning we went straight to Broadway, and I got to see all these really cool bars. We parked at some parking garage, walked a little ways, and then we went and checked out Jason Aldean's bar first, because if I'm remembering right, that was the one that I think Morgan Wallen threw a chair off of the third story onto the road down below where people were standing, which is just actually crazy. After having been there, it's a very tall bar that could have been fatal. So we went to the Jason Aldean bar. There were really cool cover bands that were in there, and I ordered Jason Aldean's mac and cheese with bacon just because I wanted to get something specific to his bar. And it was really freaking good, I'm not gonna lie. Also, the cover band that was there playing, they were just right on key. They were killing it. A lot of people were just throwing requests out, and these guys were talented enough to just play it on the spot. It made me a little bit jealous, I'm not gonna lie. I've always wanted to give music a fair shot, I don't know if I'd ever be able to play at these guys' level, but it would be fun to try it, just to fully invest in yourself, to have faith that you're gonna make it, move to Nashville, and then just take whatever gigs you can get. See if there's any chance you can rub shoulders with the right people, you know what I mean? So the whole time I was there, I was just watching these guys perform, and I was like, man, it would be pretty cool to do what these guys are doing. But I was really, really happy to be there. It was really cool. They were talented. And I'm still gonna be practicing my guitar and writing songs just because I love it. It's just a fun little hobby on the side. But anyways, so we went to Jason Aldean's bar and got dinner. We walked down the street a little bit and found a store that sells cowboy boots. I was with my mom and my sister. They wanted to come along for the drive. So, this store actually sold 3 pairs for the price of one. It was a crazy deal. And I already have a pair of cowboy boots, but they're actually steel-toe cowboy boots, because I usually use them for work-related purposes, not just to have a pair of boots. So, I figured, let's get a pair that's a little bit more comfortable. So my mom, my sister, and I, we all went in and we ended up walking out with a pair of boots. So they're behind me somewhere, but I really like them. And I'm living in the South now, technically, so I feel like there will be an opportunity for me to wear them. Even if not some event or something. I can see myself just wearing them normally because they're very comfortable. But yeah, so we went and all got a pair of cowboy boots. After that, we went to Morgan Wallen's bar, which I didn't even know was open. I didn't know it was open, but it was there. And so as we were walking down the street, I looked over and saw it, and I was like, oh no, we have to go check that out. So I walked in and I ended up getting a shirt and just hanging out for a minute because they had a cover band that was playing exclusively Morgan Wallen songs. So it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. You've got to visit Nashville if you are a country music fan. Even if you aren't a country music fan, it's a really cool environment. The food is really good. And the fact that just music is being played on every section of the street, in every bar, it's just awesome. If you just want to go listen to people perform, if you like live music at all, you would really like Nashville. Oh, one more thing. When we were at Jason Aldean's bar on the third story, where you can walk out and you can see this road down below, there's actually a big old sign posted now that says, anyone throwing things off of the third story will be prosecuted. So whether that was there before Morgan while under the chair or after, I don't know. But I just thought that was kind of funny. So, anyways, Nashville was cool. We ended up driving towards the border of Virginia and Tennessee and spent the night at a hotel there. And then the next morning, we made it here. And so, we did that trip in record time. Like, we went really, really fast through it. We hardly stopped at all. Only just for a few hours in Nashville. But that's usually how I am when it comes to long projects. I just try to grind them out. I hate pacing myself. I hate taking breaks. I'm like, I start it and I want to get it done. That's kind of how I handled the drive to Virginia. But anyways, so that's my little road trip. On the side, I need to tell you about something that is just so unfortunate that is still eating me up just a little bit. Right before I moved from St. George to Virginia, I actually was introduced to a girl that, if I had not moved, I'd probably be dating right now. So just so unfortunate. The timing was so unfortunate. But a mutual friend introduced us, and when I first saw her, I totally believed she was out of my league. Like, she is gorgeous. And I talked to her a little bit, but I didn't expect her to reciprocate any kind of interest. Surprisingly enough, she did. And we really got close within the month before I moved. We talked a lot. We went on a few dates. I found her insanely interesting. She's actually writing a book right now, and I've always wanted to do that too, so I've had a lot of admiration for her, just because a lot of people say they want to do that. She's actually doing it. And she's just getting around to publishing it soon here too, so maybe I'll give her a little shout out, and if you guys want to read her book, you can. But yeah, we got really, really close. We had a lot of deep conversations, and it was really sad saying goodbye for the last time. We obviously weren't exclusive. We weren't dating one-on-one. But it was getting to that point. And I think had I stayed just even a few months longer, the outcome could have just been way different. So, yeah, she even had me questioning whether or not I should start school this year. So it was really tough. But since I've been here, she's called a few times and we've just chatted and caught up on things. I really wanted to come out and visit at some point. But I have no doubt that the longer we are apart, the more likely it is that she will end up in a relationship with somebody else. So that's a tough pill to swallow, but I guess the stars just didn't align on that one. But I guess you never know. Maybe we will still both be single by the time I graduate, and maybe I'll move back or she'll move here. You never know. Life is crazy. But anyways, that's kind of a bummer, isn't it? It was like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, because I was like, man, this girl could be the one. like she full on could be the one. But also this opportunity to begin school is such a great opportunity, one that you shouldn't pass up without a lot of thought. And I ultimately decided that since I'd put a lot more time and effort into getting this opportunity ready, I probably should go with that rather than staying another year or so and pursuing a relationship. So, anyways, we'll find out whether or not that was the right decision or if it was a huge mistake. But, I'll be better off either way, you know what I mean? Sorry about that cut. There's actually a train that was just passing, and I live in a pretty heavily populated part of town. So, lots of noises can seep through the walls. But, anyways, this is just kind of a travel update, letting you know I'm doing school. I'm living in a new state on the opposite side of the country. I don't really know anybody here, but I kind of thrive in that environment. I love reinventing myself. So, I'll have to make another video. This one's getting a little bit long, and maybe ramble a little bit more and get you guys a little bit more caught up. But for now, I think I'm going to sign off. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I hope you know that I genuinely care about you and hope that you are doing okay. And if life isn't going good for you, I hope it gets better soon. On that note, I'm going to take off. I'll talk to you later.